let's have a conversation around the Game Awards, simply because the nominations are around the corner. But before I start, I just want to say that the game of the year that matters is the game that you played this year that's your favorite. Whether that's Wukong, Final Fantasy, Dragon Age, God forbid Concord, but more power to you. That's what matters. If that's your favorite game, then that's the game of the year that matters. You don't need no online person. You don't need no game award show to validate your opinion, okay? So I just want to talk about how the game award works, because there still seems to be some sort of confusions around it. I think they're pretty transparent on how the award process works. It's in their FAQ. How are nominees selected? Nominees for most categories of the Game Awards are chosen by an international jury of over 100 global media and influencer outlets, selected for the history of critical video game evaluations. What this means is gaming journalists and game critics, gamers' favorite group of people. So if you click here, normally I've seen the list, but this website's so incompetent that they screwed it up. When you click on it, it just brings you back to the main page. But they'll probably fix it. And anyway, so how are winners selected? Winners are determined by blended vote between the voting jury, 90%, and the public fan voting, 10%. Meaning we gamers have very little say on who wins. It's, once again, it shouldn't be just called Game Award Show. It should be the Critics Game Award Show, because that's technically what it is. They have sole power on nominees selection and 90% power in winner selection. So let's take a look at some evidence, shall we? I use OpenCritic because they add up all the console reviews together rather than isolated like in Metacritic. So in 2024, Astrobot is leading. Then there's Elden Ring, which, because of the new clause, are DLCs expansions eligible. They are eligible for every category, meaning DLCs can now win Game of the Year. So Elden Ring is up there. Final Fantasy, Metaphor. If you ask me, it's literally gonna be Astrobot, Final Fantasy, or Metaphor that's gonna win. But Elden Ring might steal it. I hope Elatro and I hope Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth also get nominated. I feel like they deserve a spotlight. And I know what everyone's talking about. Everyone's gonna be talking about Wukong because it's the most favorite game, popular game of this year. Wukong, critically speaking, is rated 109th in 2024. So them getting nominated, guys, Wukong's a great game. But I would actually be surprised if Wukong gets nominated, because it is the Critics Award show, and critically it's placed 109. So it's not really the best one. And right here it says player ratings 90, which is fantastic. But once again, you don't really have much power to say on who wins, because you only have 10% voting power and 0% in nominee selection. So just to show you the difference, critics gave it an 82 average, and 80% of the critics recommended it. Look at Astrobot. This is an actual Game of the Year contender. 95% average, 99% critics recommended, 100% player rating. So it's kind of like, yeah, it's a big difference, right? You can see this is number 1 and this is number 109. So if you think Wukong is going to be nominated, I'm telling you, it has a chance. It has a chance. But it's a very low one. You wouldn't really nominate 109 of anything for the best thing of the year, right? Because this is a critic's evaluation, not a player's evaluation. So just to show you more proof of that, Baldur's Gate 3 in 2023, right? So we can go all platform 2023. Baldur's Gate 3, guess what? They won, and they were the highest rated game of 2023, right? Next to Tears of the Kingdom. 2022 was Elden Ring. There you go. Elden Ring, critically at the top, and it wins in a critic award show, right? Surprise, surprise. 2021 was It Takes Two. So this one was a bit different, right? So this one is MMO, Forza. You can, I don't know, maybe they're biased. They don't want a racing game to win. But as you can see, It Takes Two is somewhat at the top, right? This is kind of a more of a messier year. So this one's kind of like there's nothing that really stands out, right? 88, 88, 88, 88, 88, 88. So it can really go to any one of these, right? Where is this one? 2020. Oh boy. Oh boy, here we go. 2020. There's Hades. This is where I would have given it to. There's Half-Life Alyx. And there's Last of Us Part 2. Demon Souls, really good. So Last of Us Part 2 won. Like, really, realistically speaking, right? 94, 93, not that big of a difference. Just that this was a very controversial game. So I can see it winning. Sekiro, right here, Resident Evil 2. So right here, once again, 92, 92, 92, 91, 90, 90, right? Sekiro is still a top-rated game critically, and right, it's not like they picked like 106th winner, right? My favorite was actually DMC5, and then like 2018. I'll stop doing this. I think you guys get the point, right? 96 for Red Dead Redemption 2, 94 for God of War, 92 for Smash Bros. You guys get the point, right? Like the winners are always at the top, right? Somewhere in the top 10 or wherever, right? They're very close in scores, right? 96, 94. Whereas, you know, if you think Wukong is going to win, it's ranked 109 critically, right? So it's it's pretty consistent, right? Like, yeah, there's some deviations, a little slight deviations, but it's pretty consistent that these winners of these Game of the Year award and the Game Award show are all critically rated very high of each year. So is it going to be a surprise who's going to win? Nope. Just to remind you, it's most likely going to be one of these four. I'm telling you. There's going to be, don't be surprised. Like, this is literally going to be one of the winners. It's going to be Final Fantasy, Astro Bot, Elden Ring, or Metaphor. It's going to be one of these four. If it's not, that would be shocking. So this is how the Game Award works, whether you agree or disagree with it. They've been very consistent following their own rules. That's why I was never really surprised at who won in the Game Award shows, because it's usually one of the top rated critic games in a critic award show. But like I said, at the end of the day, this is as valuable as any other award shows, which is that it's pretty much meaningless. And like I said, your Game of the Year should be the one that mattered, and you don't need validation from anyone or any award show to be happy about your own choice. That's all I want to talk about. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day.